Here's a question from Bert. Our rental property is non-smoking, but we have an application from an applicant stating that he's a smoker, but he'll smoke outside of the property. Do you trust that he'll smoke outdoors? Do you charge a higher security deposit to cover smoke damage? Do you decline their application? So we have to treat every tenant, every prospective tenant, every applicant exactly the same. So we have preset criteria and we stick to it religiously. Otherwise, we're infringing on somebody's fair credit. Not fair credit, I'm sorry, fair housing laws. And we'll get audited by the state and other entities from time to time. Actually, just realizing what shirt I'm wearing. Human Roar about my favorite brewery here in Philadelphia. Give them a shout out. So I'm sorry I lost track. Okay, so we actually automatically reject folks. So if you actually, one of our criteria is that we don't allow smokers into the unit. Smoking really badly damages the unit. We had a unit that we actually had that the client bought as a shell. We helped them through the renovation process, getting that done. One of the contractors we put in there apparently must have been a smoker, one of the trades, one of the subs that came in. And we could not really get rid of the cigarette smoke, and it kind of taught me about cigarette smoke. So the gyrations we went through were that the property was, we painted it to encapsulate the smell. That didn't work. Professionally cleaned it. That didn't work. Used an ozone machine where you actually kind of run and it alters the molecules of the air itself and will take scents out, and hopefully that'll reach into the ductwork. This property, it didn't work at all. You would go in there and it would smell fine, and then you would go in there another day and you definitely get a prominent punch in the face of cigarette smoke. So what we ended up having to do was getting the ducts cleaned. We didn't have to go so far. The next step after getting the ducts cleaned, which I think is about a $300 expense, and the next step would have been to actually have the ducts UV'd, which really wasn't that horrible of a cost either, but it is a bit of a problem. So we automatically reject based on if you're a smoker, but if you are not going to automatically reject somebody, then it is not a bad idea to take an increased security deposit. So put it in the lease that you are not allowed to smoke within the unit, and if they break the lease and they smoke within the unit, then you would charge them. Now, the amount that you would charge them is the amount that it's going to cost to rent the property. Probably the cost to rent the property, in my opinion, I'm guessing. I mean, cigarette smoke is just going to, I was thinking actually it would be the cost of a duct cleaning, but it really could potentially be the cost of repainting the unit to encapsulate the smell. You're going to have to clean the floors. You're going to have to paint the ceiling, and you're definitely probably, in the case, our experience, you're going to have to clean the ductwork. So if you've got a rental that really is coming in around, around the $2,000, to $3,000 mark, then you would have enough security deposit to cover all those additional expenses. The more I think about it, the more I recommend you just to stay away from cigarette smokers and just go for the next one. I mean, there are other tenets in smoking. I mean, I hate to be this way always with my podcast, but what we're doing when we're looking at applicants is we're kind of judging their character. We don't really care about their financial standing as much as do they make good decisions, do they make bad decisions, and individuals have a right to live their life. I smoke cigars. Is that a good decision? Probably not. Is it something I do? Yes. Do I smoke in my house? Absolutely not. Is that a sign that I make 100% good decisions? Probably not. So if I were to take a step further and I was a cigarette smoker, no offense to cigarette smokers out there, but it's not exactly the smartest decision. And the question is are they going to make other bad decisions, relative to, to property care? So I would probably say that tenant I would probably skip over, and all smokers, I would just have a generic clause and just move on to the next tenant. So I hope that helps.